Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Last video was the floor and I got a lot of nice positive feedback about it and a lot of good engagement, so thanks for that. It's a real motivating factor speaking to you guys, knowing that some of you are in the same position and some of you are getting motivation from this, so no, it does genuinely make a difference. The last few weeks I've been doing quite a lot of stuff off camera because obviously the bit I'm working on just now, there's two sides to it, so I've been doing one side and then this side I've saved for the camera. So in this video what I'm going to be looking at is underneath here. I'm going to be looking at replacing the companion bin and the closing brackets for the companion bin. Now it makes sense to do it while the quarter panel's off, because trying to get into weld in and around the companion bin with this in place, it's just an absolute nightmare and near impossible. So this needed to be replaced. I'm going to focus on the companion bin in this video, and the next video I'll look more at the replacing this panel. So the other side, like I say, I've already done off camera. I'll stick a few clips in here to show you how it went. So, first thing now, to get access, I'm going to get this quarter panel off. The panel is off, roughly cut. I'll show this footage in the next video on the rear quarter panel, so you'll not miss any of that. Like I said, I want to focus on this area here. So I'm just going to show you what panels I've got, where they go, and then I can start getting them marked out, prep, holes drilled, and start getting them in. Sounds easy. It is, it just takes time. The first panel is the companion bin and heritage like the rest, and the companion bin goes in here. It's not just a storage bin, it's quite important because it's a really structural piece of the car that gives it a lot of strength. It joins a lot of panels together. It joins the B-post to the floor, to the boot floor, to the inner arch, and it just gives it a lot more strength and stops it distorting more. So it goes like this. Loosely fitted. The other side needed slight fettling and manipulation to get in. They usually do, but yeah, this I'll fiddle about with, get it in place, and I can get it marked out where I need to remove the paint so that I can then add the weld through primer and then I can get clamped in. As you can see, I've put a couple of clamps on the companion bin just to hold it in place. The next panel is the closing panel for the rear wheel arch to floor. See the code there. For this side it's 14A6611, and again that's heritage. This closes off this area here, so it sits like this. finally, for this part at least, I have the closing bracket that sits along here and closes off basically the area between the inner and outer cell next to the companion bin. There you go, code number 14A8994. This goes on after here because this needs to sit on top of here. It's quite hard to see when you're in looking at it with all the filler and everything on, but I'm trying to show you best I can how all this goes together, and it's getting it in the right order. So this slides in here, this flange here goes in line with the top of here, this sits on here, and this part here slides under the doorstep inner and outer cell, and it basically gives it strength under here, and once it's welded on it just makes it all stronger. It can be fiddly getting in because it's a mini, but it does go. There's a slight turn here where this goes up, that's roughly where this tab comes to. But the fiddly bit you'll find is try to get this under here and up, but remember this bit here has to be level with the top of here and it gets spot welded on. And I am doing this for the purpose of showing you because it does have to come back off to be prepped. The things I do. So roughly, but will be fettled. Roughly, but will be fettled when it is in its final place to go on, and that is how it all goes together. I'm going to get these panels back off and get them prepped one at a time. Just the same as every other panel, taking off the paint that's on here, replacing the underside areas with weld through primer for when it comes time to weld, and it gives it that protection, it doesn't rust. So yeah, one at a time, leave it to dry, and then I can get on with another bit while the paint's drying. While that's drying, I'll now prepare this closing panel. while those panels are drying, I'm going to go over a bit of prep on the companion bin, and I'm just going to explain quickly how it's attached and where it's attached. I will say as well, when I'm doing prep on the panels, all of them, take your time at this stage and make sure there's no paint left on the panels, especially if you're spot welding, because if the spot welder finds a bit of paint, it will not work. So save your time later and do it now. Right, this, I'm going to use Tipp-Ex to mark out areas along here, because I only want to take off what paint I need to take off to then put the weld through primer on. Right, starting from the front, I'm going to drill holes here in this section because I can't get in with a spot welder because of all the panels. So I'll drill 8mm holes, various up here. These will be plug welded onto the inner sill. Up here, this will obviously be tidied up, that's why it's not sitting flush just now. This will be spot welded up to the top here. On the bottom, on the inside in here, the lower flange, again I'll drill holes in there and they'll be plug welded to the floor on the inside of this. Coming to the back at the seat base here, so the seat flange all the way back to here will be spot welded all the way along. Off camera, I've drilled the holes all the way on the bottom flange here, so they can be plug welded from this side here, and I've also drilled holes in this to be plug welded onto the B-post. Tidy this up now with a bit of finger sander and then some weld-through primer. That's a good point to stop there for me just now. Go and have some lunch and let the paint dry, and then when I come back, hopefully it should all be drying in place and I can start mocking it up to the car. I think I have every area prepped that I need to be prepped that's enclosed, but I'll soon see. There's always one bit, doesn't matter how many times you do it, there's always one bit. But this gives you an idea of how much is involved in replacing just a couple of panels.